Year 1. Today in Maths we are moving on to a new topic. Happy Monday! We are learning about fractions. Now, I have been teasing out the concept of fractions in our Tuesday mental math lessons on Zoom for a while now. We have been having a play at identifying some half and quarter fractions of shapes. In Year 1, we have to, by the end of the year, know how to half a shape and quarter a shape. They're the two fractions we learn in Year 1. As a challenge, some people will get to look at 1/8 of a shape as well. All right, what is halving? Today we're focusing on the concept of a half, the simplest fraction. What is halving? Here is a whole pizza. Can you see? The fun thing about fractions is we get to do lots of cooking, lots of craft, lots of cutting. This pizza has been cut into two halves. So we started with a whole pizza. Now we've cut our pizza in half. You can see we've done that by cutting directly down the middle. It's important in fractions that each piece is exactly the same size. If it's a different size, it's not an equal fraction. We need our pieces to be the same size. Here is 1/2 of the pizza. This is a whole pizza. We're going to click on the knife to cut it into two. Have we got 2 halves now? Each piece is 1/2. We have cut our pizza in half. Half of the cake is missing. Can you find the other half? Can you point with your finger? Wow, each piece is exactly the same size. That means that's how I know I've made my fraction correctly. I've got half over here and half over there. 2 halves together make 1 whole. Can you answer the question, what do 2 halves together make? 1 whole. Say it with me. 1 whole. Half of this ice cream is missing. Can you point? Where's the other half? Each half has to be exactly the same size. Half of the chocolate is missing. Point. Where's the other half? Good. This is looking a bit more at numbers now. When I've got a fruit, I can kind of eyeball. Where's half? Where's that exactly down the middle line? But if I have numbers, like here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces, I need to think what's half of 6. 3 is half of 6. So I need the same amount over here and the same amount over there. It has to be exactly the same on each side to be half. Half of the melon is missing. Point. Where's the other half? Half of the pineapple. Point. Can you see they're exactly the same size? Let's have a look at some fractions in real life. Fractions are so fun because we can spot them all around us in the real world. Real life halves. Can you see I have half a glass of water? Mrs. Tubman has half a candle. It smells delicious. I can halve the pages in my book. I need to make sure it's exactly the same on each side. Do I have under half or over half water in the bottle? Under half. Half a moon. Half an avocado. Half a lemon. Do you know what this fruit's called? Do you eat the skin? Some people do. It's kiwi. It's got very, very skin. Half a toasty. Ooh, Mrs. Trotman's sourdough's in the oven. I just remembered. Thanks for reminding me, one red and green. Half a sunset. Isn't that an interesting picture? We can see maths all around us in the world. I wonder if you start looking at the world with your maths eyes, if you can spot cool things like this around you. It's like the farmer has gone and sowed half his land. Maybe he's planting a crop over here, or he's just taken out the crop to sell it at the market. Half a fig. Have you ever eaten a fig before, Year 1? They're good. Drizzle them with a bit of honey and fresh yogurt. half an orange. I wonder what country this is in. Half of the building is cream and half is turquoise. Now remember before I said you can eyeball a shape and kind of work out halfway is exactly down the middle line. But if you've got numbers, you need to half the number. So I need to count how many there are all together first and then use my mental maths, that's my maths in my brain, to work out what is half that number. So I have the same amount on each side. They've made it easy here with a blue background on half and a pink background on half. How many donuts is half of 4? Or what is half of 4? I can use my fingers. 2. If I take away the same amount, so I've got the same amount down to the same amount up. Remember, I need to have the same on each side for it to be half or for it to be a fraction. 2 over here and 2 over there. So 2 is half of 4. I wonder if you can spot some halves in nature. Maybe you'll start seeing halves now everywhere around you. This is a question. A number fraction. If I can see 3 eggs and they're telling me that this is half, how many eggs do you think fit in a full carton? Pause the video and answer. Write it down if no one's around or tell someone beside you. If I've got 3 eggs and they're saying this is half, what would the full amount be? You have to double 3. Did you get the answer 6? Give yourself a big tick or a pat on the shoulder if you did. Oh, doesn't that look like a good pair? Oh, if I got this half of a pizza, I'd feel a bit ripped off because it looks like someone's taken a giant bite out the top of my pizza. I wouldn't be very happy about that, year 1. Remember, to be a half, it has to have exactly the same amount on each side. Otherwise, one person's going to feel a bit ripped off. Wow, I can see halves in art and in photography. I can see halves in fruit. Here we have another number fraction. So remember, there's 2 ways to create your fraction. A picture fraction is where you eyeball where's half, right down the middle. A number fraction, you need to count how many there are all together and half that number in your head. It's the opposite of doubles, which we learnt at the start of this term. Doubles is where you add the same amount and put it together and tell me how many you have all together. Let's revise. Double 2 is 4. Call it out. Double 5 is 10. Try to beat me. Double 6 is 12. Double 7 is 14. Remember, in year 1, we need to know all our doubles to 20 off by heart by the end of the year. Double 1, 2. Double 3, 6. Well, fractions and making halves is the opposite of doubles, because instead of doubling the number, starting with a small number and ending up with a bigger number, we're going the other way. We're starting with a big number and we're halving it. So we're going to end up with a smaller number. So first step, count how many there are all together. Hold that number in your head. I've got 4. Do I know what half of 4 is? The opposite of doubles. Double 2 is 4. Half of 4 is 2. Say it with me. Double 3 is 6. Half of 6 is 3. Halving is the opposite of doubling. Double 5 is, call it out, 10. Half of 10 is 5. I'm going backwards. Double 6 is, call it out, 12. Half of 12 is 6. What's double 10? Call it out, 20. So what would half of 20 be? Go backwards. 10. Let's do one more. Double 1. What does it equal? 2. Let's go backwards. Half of 2. How many are left? 1. So if I ask you what's half of 4, you need to be able to say 2, quick, smart. So we learnt doubles at the start of the term. Now we need to start revising the opposite concept, halving numbers to 20. So I want you to practice doubling all your numbers to 20 with a parent or a brother or a sister, or just out loud to yourself, and then going the other way and halving all those numbers to 20. We need to lock them into our brain and memorize them. Here I have half of what do we think that is, a twirl or a Twix? A wafer bar, half a muffin, and we're going to be doing some fractions in the kitchen today. Look forward to that. Here I've got another number fraction. I've got 2 hands. What would half of 2 be? 1. Isn't that beautiful? I see lots of maths in that picture. My maths brain is sparking and on fire. I love that, Year 1. All right, today, Year 1, we are going to be doing a couple of different things. Maths in the kitchen. I'm so excited. I'm going to post down below some recipes that you might like to cook with a brother or a sister or mum or dad, maybe now, maybe for afternoon tea, maybe tonight for dinner or dessert, or maybe on the weekend. That's okay. Or if mum or dad are working, they won't have time to cook with you in the kitchen. So I will give you an alternative thing to do instead, okay? But if you do have time and you are allowed to do some cooking in the kitchen, I would like you to choose to cook either pizza, mini pizzas, or one big pizza, homemade, pancakes, or muffins. And I'm going to put some kid-friendly recipe videos below, so you'll choose one of those foods and get to make that in the kitchen today. Then I want you to halve all of those foods. So if you make a whole tray of muffins, before you serve it to your family for afternoon tea, I want you to practice cutting all those muffins in half. If you make mini pizzas before you serve it to your family for dinner, I want you to practice cutting all the mini pizzas in half. We're focusing on learning halves today. There will be a procedure writing template if you'd like some extra writing practice. I know many of you have been working so hard on your pencil grip. Remember, pencil grip is like a little birdie. These 3 fingers are tucked in. Little birdie with thumb and pincer grip. Put the pencil in between. We don't want to lose our pencil grip during remote learning. Make sure you're on top of fixing that up all the time. You can practice writing a procedure for the recipe. That's an optional extra task, just if you would like to, and post that to Seesaw. That way I might be able to make your food. If you have another recipe idea, so not pizza, pancakes, or muffins, if mum or dad have another idea of something you can cook together and you can cut in half before serving, you can absolutely do that. And again, if you'd like me to see the recipe, you can write the procedure for that. That's task 1. Task 2 is on Seesaw. You're going to go on a half hunt in your house. And if you're at school, I'm sorry, but you don't get to do the cooking. You're going to miss out on that one. So you're going to skip straight to activity 2, which is a half hunt. For a half hunt, you're going to take your Seesaw all around the house, take photos of any halves you can find. So like I said, half a candle. I would take a photo, pop it on Seesaw. Half a book. Open it to half. And your third activity is a worksheet on Seesaw, identifying halves. If you have time, I would also love you to practice your doubles and halves to 20. You can do that out loud to mum or dad, or you can write it down on a list, and absolutely feel free to Seesaw that or not, it's up to you. But you can practice double 2 is 4, half of 4 is 2, double 5 is 10, half of 10 is 5, all of the numbers to 20 and back. Have fun with your maths today, Year 1.